It's around 7 a.m. So it's pretty early, considering I'm like out and about. And I think we need to talk about time. And I do have my coffee. This morning I'm thinking about time, and so I thought it was fitting for the topic to come to my old stomping grounds. This is not the street I lived on. Well, this one is not. We're close to the first house where I lived. I don't want to linger on the picture here, but so this house here was the first house that I lived in. Now you see back there's like a garage with another house above it, or with a house above it. That is where I lived with my mom and my two older brothers. And yeah, so my parents got divorced when I was 2 years old. And so when my mom left Illinois and brought us, again when I was 2 years old, that's the house where my grandparents were living. So we were able to stay above the garage, basically. So yeah, it is nice this morning. I need my first sip of coffee. I'm holding a full cup of coffee. Oh, ooh, that's good. So this is I just used my Keurig. I've been lazy with my coffee at home. So the brand is Community Coffee, and it's coffee and chicory. If you have not tried coffee and chicory before, I recommend it. It has the sensation of being a dark roast, but I think technically it's not a dark roast. All the darkness and slight bitterness comes from the chicory. And chicory has health benefits, but I don't recall offhand what they are. I know at one point roasted chicory was considered a healthy alternative to coffee. And then someone decided, let's mix coffee with chicory. And I would assume this would have lower caffeine, because it does have less coffee in it. I could be right about that. Alright, so this is an interesting area. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to fully show it, because this is La Sierra University. I spent a lot of my youth on this campus. And here we have the World Museum of Natural History. And I spent many hours in there as well. Yeah. And this up here is that's Mount Two Bit. I've hiked it several times. Yeah. So these are my old stomping grounds. What better place to think about time in the passage of time. I could go further up and perhaps show the main entrance, but honestly, and I'm not going to be able to pick it up, I don't think, but the way in the distance there's a brown and white building. That is the library, and that in particular, I spent a ton of time at that library with one of my friends in particular. Yeah, another sip of coffee here. That's especially good this morning. I'm really enjoying that. Coffee and Chicory, the first coffee and chicory brand that I had discovered was called French Market, and it comes in a red can. They probably still sell it, I would imagine. I haven't seen it in years, but they have to still sell it. But the brand was French Market, and there was just something about the label, and at the time I was very interested in herbs. You know, regular herbs. Not the funny kind of herbs. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was one of the things that drew me to it. Now, mind you, it was between the ages of 2 and 5 that I lived at this house. Between the ages of 2 and 5. So my memories there are very, very sparse. But I do have memories of playing football with my 2 older brothers on the street. It's a relatively steep street, not too bad. But since I was the little one of the 3 of us, basically, you know, I'd be the one to get picked on, especially by my second oldest brother. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time on this street in particular. When we get down to the corner there, I'll show you a couple more buildings of interest. But yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it, but so there's a brown building with darker brown garage doors, and just beyond that there used to be a little pond, and my brothers and I loved visiting that pond. It had all kinds of aquatic plants in it, and I'm sure there were fish, and yeah. I'm gonna have to be a little more quiet because I'm back right by houses. So, ooh, that's a nice cactus there. Wow. I don't know if you can pick out up how impressive that is, but that's impressive. So this building here, back in the day, it was called, I don't know if it was officially called or affectionately called the Dorcas, named for the a person in the Bible. So this is kind of a well, they call it the La Sierra Vista Chapel, but we always called it the Dorcas. Yeah. I have some memories here, not a ton. But this, on the other side, is the church. I believe now it's called the La Sierra Collegiate Church, Seventh-day Adventist. Oh, here we go. La Sierra University Church of Seventh-day Adventists. Yeah, so tons of time was spent here. Sip of my coffee there. In fact, we'd just walk down the street. Now, this was when I was older and we lived a few street overs from where we just were. We'd walk down the street and I believe enter those doors right there. And then we always liked to go up in the balcony if we were good. Otherwise, we had to go to the cry room. I'll get back to that as I walk back, but I do have a memory that takes place not necessarily in this building, but at this building. And mind you, all this is part of the La Sierra University campus, and all of this used to be open. You could just walk on the campus. Not anymore, but so it was at this building. In fact, I could probably get a view from over here. Woo! Ants. So it was one of the first windows there on the side that I knew this is where my grandfather had his office. He worked at La Sierra University. Back then, I think it was La Sierra College. So he worked there, and I knew it. And I don't know if I knew specifically that was his office, or if I just randomly guessed. I must have somehow known, because I knocked on the window, and the shades moved or blinds moved, whatever. And there he was, I think at first he had a quizzical look, and then he smiled at me. Yeah. Yeah. I miss my grandfather. He was an awesome person. Growing up without a dad, he was the closest thing I had. So all of this is to say that time is a funny thing. I should probably get to back on track with my point here, but I'm just going down memory lane, and yeah. Yes, time is a funny thing. I have described it as being my enemy. Because I felt like it was just leaving me behind. I know that doesn't make sense, but in my mind it does. I felt like time was leaving me behind. And, well, my biggest complaint about time is the older you get, the faster it passes. And I have problems with that. When I was a kid, first of all, the school year seemed to be forever. And then even the summer seemed so long. And now, at this age, 40 years later, time just goes by so quickly, and I kind of feel like I'm being robbed. Like I feel like I can't get as much done. I can't experience as much. Can someone explain to me, drop a comment down below, why is it that time goes faster when we are older? I have this theory that makes no sense whatsoever, but I have a theory that time, although we perceive, well, how am I going to make this make sense? Basically, the theory is that what we think of as time as being steady and measurable is not steady and measurable, and yet we're somehow still led to believe that it's steady and measurable. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I don't think it does. Alright, so this here is the La Sierra University Seventh-day Adventist Church office, and we also spent a lot of time there. And the reason for that is, up to third grade, we were going to the elementary school, which is just down the street, kind of that way. La Sierra Elementary, and private schools with a single mother, that is not cheap. So to help pay the bills, my mom came to an agreement with the church that we would help clean the church. Now, I don't know if it was intended for her to just do it herself. Nevertheless, of course, us kids helped her. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like she took advantage of us. There were some fun aspects to it, but I do have kind of a negative association with Lemon Pledge now. I don't want to wander too far through there because I don't want to look like I'm trespassing, but oh yeah, there's another little door here. I wonder if this is the little door we went through. Oh, maybe not. That looks like a private room. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we entered. I might as well show you the front of the church, right? Yeah, so we spent a lot of time here. I was baptized here. I've since broadened my horizons spiritually, long since actually. But you have these memories of a place that you spent many hours at, and yeah. I was hoping to get out a little bit earlier, but time. Oh, I guess the sidewalk wanders over here. It's kind of nice. I don't. Yeah, all this part right here is new. I'm pretty sure it just used to be this sidewalk going along there. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is the front entrance. A beautiful church, quite large. spent tons of time in this parking lot back here. I do have issues with time. Now, I've since realized my coffee's getting cold. I've since realized that time is actually not my enemy. And I feel bad for ever stating that, actually. Time is actually your greatest friend. But like all friends, if you abuse them or take them for granted, they may distance themselves and not seem like a friend anymore. But nevertheless, time really is our friend, and it's just a matter of how we make use of it. As you see the church in the background. Time. What are your thoughts on time? Do you feel like there's enough hours in the day? And drop a comment down below and let me know. But I feel like there's not enough time in the day. So to counteract that, I get up super early, usually between 5 and 6. I think it was a little after 5 a.m. today. I intended to come out to record this video much earlier, but time. Well, plus I had to take care of the cats. The cats usually eat around 5:30. We have to make the most of the time we have. We never know when our day is going to come. So we just have to make use of the time and kind of hope for the best. Do things to take care of ourselves and be a good person. Anyway, I still have like half a cup of coffee. I've been doing a lot of talking in this one. It just so many memories here. So yeah, but coffee and Chicory, you should try it. And I really like this community coffee brand. It's very good. It's getting really busy over here now. I was going to end the video there, but I feel like I need to walk again. So let me know your thoughts on the passage of time and how do you best use your time. Do you use a planner, or do you just kind of go with the flow and wing it? Yeah, anyway. Time is a funny thing. It's not our enemy, it's our friend. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Drop a comment down below, and I hope you'll subscribe and follow me on this adventure of drinking coffee and walking around for health and amusement. I like walking around and looking at things and reliving memories. Yeah. Anyway. Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Time.